My darling hearts, it's GAPS coach Emma here, Timeless Cookery. I'd like to talk about meltdowns in supermarkets. Not supermarket meltdowns, although, you know, there may be food shortages and stuff not on the shelves. I can see that happening. Might not, might. What I'm talking about is when you take the kids shopping with you. I just want to say what a huge big mistake that is, unless they are really well nourished. If you're a bad-tempered mama or dada, which I was, if you've got kids who throw tantrums regularly or have meltdowns, which I did, and who seem to have constant niggly health problems, which I did, then you can be fairly sure that your gut flora's out of whack and you're malnourished, despite your best efforts. Even if you're eating biodynamic strawberries and steak and whatnot, if you've got leaky gut, your body can't assimilate this stuff properly, and so you're going to be deficient. And deficiency puts you in a really hit mood, puts you in just a terrible, bad mood. So I can remember, I mean, I've just seen some women in the village recently, and they're with their kids in the supermarket. I mean, I'm very grateful for supermarkets, don't get me wrong. You know, I don't like to shop in the supermarket, and there are aisles that I'm just like, beep, 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 danger, danger, Will Robinson, don't go down that aisle. Danger lies that way, so I just don't go down those aisles. They're full of rubbish that is going to make me feel like not very well, okay? But I see the mamas sometimes in the supermarket, and I'm reminded of myself when the kids are like, but please, can I have it? And they grab the thing off the shelf and chase you around the supermarket going, can I put, and they put these sneak things into the basket, into the trolley, don't they, when you're not looking. And then you get to the checkout and you're like, oh God. And then if you say no, they just scream and shout and shout the house down. And you're like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And the other parents are looking at me and there's judgment going on. And, you know, just try and take the kids for a play date somewhere before you go to the supermarket. And also eat before you go. Eat something super nourishing, some lovely chicken soup with loads of butter and cream in it, you know, 24-hour fermented cream, remember, on GAPS. Or eat something really, really nourishing before you go to the supermarket, and then stick to your list. Like, make a list and stick to it. You know, I'm very grateful for the supermarkets, although I struggle. I think that they've got a bit of they sell you such a load of rubbish if you let them. You know, you've got to be really disciplined with it and go, I don't want that rubbish. That rubbish is going to make me feel terrible. So yeah, I see these women, sort of impatiently dragging their kids around the supermarket, sort of telling them not to touch this and don't touch that, and it kind of breaks my heart. I'm like, poor little mites. Take them for a play date somewhere, and then you go shopping, please. The poor little things. And I used to be like that, so I'm seeing myself in it, you know. But it is breaking my heart to see mummies doing that. But we don't have to, you know. When they beg for those treats are poison, basically. Most of them. If they've got vegetable oils in them, refined sugar, chocolate's pretty dodgy. Chocolate's pretty dangerous, you know. It's full of oxalates and it just builds up in your system and it's difficult for your body to excrete. So I just said no to chocolate. In fact, a friend of mine came around the house one day with this massive chocolate-covered nougat as a treat for all the kids. I was babysitting his two. So there were 4 kids in the house and he bought this thing and I just went, get that poison out of my house. And he was like, Emma, what's wrong with you? It's like, you don't understand. This was about 15 years ago. But I stand by that now, even more so. This stuff is poison. The food system has been weaponized. These are not foods, they're food-like products. And they give you a high, and then they give you a low, and then you want some more. It's like a drug. It is like a drug. So, you know, I've had a complete paradigm shift. I have to say it's very liberating, and I would love to encourage you to get in that same frame of mind. Come on holiday with me in Normandy this summer. At the end of June, at the end of July, and the end of August, I'm having a 9-day retreat. I'm doing 3 9-day GAPS retreats. There's a few places already sold, already gone, but there's still space, and there's some camping options. You can go to timelesscookery.com courses, and you'll see all the details there. I'm going to cook for you for the whole week, and so you'll get to see what does it mean to do GAPS. It's rich, it's lush, it's delicious, it's satisfying, it's tasty. It's like it's all good things, you know. It's not, you don't feel deprived, but when you are getting off the opiates of the masses, the wheat, which can morph in your mind, it can actually, the wheat gluten can actually, when it's maldigested, resemble a morphine, glutomorphine, literally So can the casomorphines, the cheese proteins, resemble morphine. So you can get high on a cheese sandwich, I'm not joking. And then you want another one 2 hours later, right? So come and find out what it's like to actually get off the grains and the sugar and the vegetable oil for a week. I mean, you can still have Gap's garlic bread, Gap's muffins, Gap's desserts, rich, delicious egg yolks and cream and, like, you know, whipped up yumminess and date paste and fat bomb frosting. And you can still have all those lovely sweet things, but it's the right fats and the right sugars. And then we have soups and stews and stir fries and fish and, you know, just delicious, yummy things. So let me cook for you. And if that's a bit too much, if you think, oh, I can't go to France, can't go all the way to France, you know, I'll take a whole family. I'll do you a deal. If you want to come camping, let me know. Even the kids, we can do it. I can seat around about 8 to 10 around the table, so we'll be fine. And also we can come and pick you up from the ferry if you don't want to bring your car. So bear that in mind as well. And if that's too much for you, just join my Timeless Cookery Club and get started with the food as the medicine so that you can be prepared for what is to come. If they suddenly go, oh, the bread basket of Europe, the Ukraine has now, there's no bread on the shelves, oh dear. If you haven't already got fat adapted and gone, well, I don't need the grains anyway, you know, you'll be feeling it. So might as well get into it now, you know. We use lentils, we use occasionally white rice in the transition, you know, although we're mostly grain-free and rice is a grain, but at least it's gluten-free. Anyway, you get the idea. Join Timeless Cookery Club, my monthly membership, for recipes and support, motivation, inspiration, all the information you need to optimally nourish and cleanse your body so that your mind can be on it, so that you can choose where you put your attention, so you're not so easily distracted. Your day seems longer. You've got more time in the day. You don't have meltdowns in the supermarket anymore. You don't feel impatient, and you don't talk to your children like you don't like them, which is what I used to do. I used to talk to my children like, oh, for God's sake, you know, impatient, unkind, angry, irritable, because I was in pain and I was exhausted. And I see so many people out there like that, and we don't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. So come and lift your spirits by giving your body the right fuel, yeah? And then we can forget the supermarket meltdowns. And even if the supermarket shelves do start emptying, we know how to get a pig's trotter in the stock pot and actually use that to give you what you need for £1.38. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to eat the pig's trotter. You would stick it in the stock pot. It's like a magic cauldron, you know? So come and learn these tips and tricks, and come and rub shoulders and spend time with people who are switched on to the possibilities of happiness, of finding happiness and being kind and peaceful and gentle, which is what we need. So when we can find compassion for self and compassion for the other, and let meltdowns be a thing of the past. Okay, my darling hearts. See me at timelesscookery.com. Bye.